Coming up on Good Morning Texas.
A Netflix original star is among us here at UT.
Our studio brightens up with our guests from Spark Magazine.
And looks like rain is coming our way.
All this and more on Good Morning Texas. Good Morning Texas. I'm Kayla Peterman.
And I'm Lizzie Smith. Thank you so much for joining us for this Wednesday, May 1st. Kayla, how are you doing this morning?
I am doing great. I woke up energized, which is sort of a rare occurrence because I don't really sleep that well, and my coffee kicked in, so I'm feeling great. How about you?
Awesome. I love the energy. You know, I feel like these last few weeks we just need to bring like the high energy, positive energy,
Push
and
through.
like we'll get through. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling good about the rest of the semester. I just feel like really good.
Awesome. Well, today is the start of May, and from the look of it, I just don't think we'll be getting spring weather anytime soon. So let's check in with Raymond Boteo for the latest in news and a look at this week's forecast. Raymond?
Thank you, Kayla. With measles cases on the rise nationwide, University Health Services wants to make sure you are staying healthy. They say to always wash your hands with soap and water. And in regards to the measles outbreak, they want Longhorns to be aware of any cold-like symptoms accompanied by a red rash across the body and tiny white spots in the mouth. Additionally, you should make sure your shots are up to date. You can visit UHS in case they aren't. They'll be offering both doses as well as more information. Passengers around the country are stranded after several airlines face widespread system outages. Those traveling with JetBlue or American Airlines, just to name a few of the providers, are struggling with ticketing stations and baggage claim. Reports say the problem stems from Sabre, a company that aids airlines with features like departure control technology, and it also offers services to travelers. Earlier this week, their system faced a glitch causing problems nationwide. Drum roll, please. The wait is finally over for you ACL concert goers. The 2019 lineup is out after much anticipation on social media. People were eager to see who's performing and even used Photoshop to try and decode the pictures that teased the headliners for the first time. Guns N' Roses, Cardi B, and Billie Eilish will headline the event. Weekend 1 will take place October 4th through the 6th, and Weekend 2 is from the 11th through the 13th. Only 3-day passes are out on sale, so keep an eye out for those. I know I will. Back to you, Kayla.
Thank you, Raymond. I'm so excited about this lineup. We've got legends like The Cure and Guns N' Roses coming out, which is sort of not what I would expect of them in this kind of festival setting. So I'm really excited.
Sounds great. So have you gone to ACL before?
No, I haven't. I haven't had a chance yet.
Okay, I haven't either. So maybe this year will be the year.
Yes,
for us,
no, let's go together. I think that'd be
Oh my
great.
gosh, it'll be so fun.
I know. So, okay, I need to know what the weather's going to be like this week, though. What's the weather like, Raymond?
All right. Get your umbrellas and rain boots ready because it's going to be a stormy week. Later today, expect thunderstorms starting around 1. Those storms will be severe in the evening with wind gusts up to 15 miles an hour. So if you're going to be out, be sure you're equipped with the right gear. There's only about a 40% chance of rain on Thursday, so expect more cloudy skies and showers. We'll have a high near 84 and a low of 69 degrees. When it rains, it pours, and on Friday, we're looking at a 70% chance, which will not let up until the end of the day. We may catch a slight break on Saturday with spotty showers and a high close to 80. But hey, at least you can enjoy your Sunday. There'll be sunny skies with heat hitting near 85. It's gonna be a rainy week, but don't worry, Longhorns. The sunny days will return sooner than you know it. Live from the Weather Center, I'm Raymond Boteo. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Good Morning Texas. We have Lizzie and Marco here with us today, and Marco's one of our executive producers for Texas News Channel. So you both recently filmed a pretty interesting documentary about a fellow UT student. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Well, Lizzie and I, we got to spend some time with RTF senior Sahana Srinivasan, and recently she got a big opportunity to be the host of the Netflix science show Brainchild.
That's really incredible. I think we've actually got the video right here, so let's go ahead and take a look.
My name is
Sahana
Srinivasan. I'm a filmmaker,
our host.
actress, and the host of Brainchild.
Brainchild,
Which is streaming right now on Netflix.
Brainchild is a kids' science show that sort of reminds kids, and really it could be for people of all ages, reminds us of just how fun and exciting science is, and also reminds us to be curious again. I've definitely always liked performing. Ever since I was a kid, I did a lot of stage performance. impressions, you know, little Facebook videos that I would post, monologues.
I'm also real.
Wonderful. I'll be honest, I'm very uncomfortable right now.
That's okay. What not?
And then I started doing, taking film acting seriously when I was like in middle school at a studio called Catherine Sullivan's. And then I got agency representation there, started auditioning for stuff, writing my own stuff, and eventually I booked Brainchild.
Hey! Are you even paying attention? Or did you just check your phone?
So I definitely was hesitating to take off an entire semester, but my parents were the ones who were actually like, encouraged me to take the job because it's what I want to do when I graduate anyways.
Can I get quiet on set?
You know, I definitely learned a lot from being on set. I learned to really memorize a lot in a short amount of time. There were a lot of like long, complicated germ names that I had to memorize within like 10 seconds, and I was like, I come from traditional Indian family. We have long last names, and this is still a challenge.
Would anyone like a nice big plate of Saccharomyces cerevisiae?
It's definitely important to see an Indian woman just not constantly wearing traditional clothes in a TV show. You know, she doesn't have an accent, and it's not like she's fetishized for her, you know, the fact that she's wearing traditional clothing or like the fact that she's foreign. It's just me.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday. Oh, you didn't think I was gonna skip a day. I'm so random.
What stands out more about me in the show is that I'm like passionate about what I do, and I'm engaging and fun. And then you say like, oh yeah, she's also an Indian woman. Okay, cool. You know, like, you know, obviously I'm very like, I love my culture. Like I said, it's a huge part of who I am, but it's not all of who I am.
Mani thannoda kaara eduthu vegama polam. That's all.
Okay, good.
I took it in a different direction. I think I took it in a direction that we weren't supposed to.
Right.
It's so crazy to think that in a month I'll be graduating from school. I think I'm ready to graduate for sure. People say like, oh, how do you feel about going into the real world? Like, I've always been in the real world, you know? It's just like the fact that I was able to do Brainchild while also being in school. It's important to know that you can take those opportunities that make you feel like you're all of a sudden in the real world or whatever at the same time, you know, while you're still in school.
This is a show with the C100 stock lens.
Okay. I don't know where life's gonna take me, you know, just because as an artist, everything is so unpredictable. I have no idea what I'm gonna be doing this time next year, but whatever it is I'm doing, I just wanna be, you know, making my own stuff, making people laugh, and telling my story, really, whatever it is I have to say, in any art form that may be.
Wow, that was an incredibly informative mini documentary.
Yeah.
How did you guys come up with that idea?
Well, it's kind of a funny story. So she actually, Sahana she's a TSTV veteran. She worked on our sister, well, not our sister show, but our friends at Longhorn Late Night.
Awesome.
So Marco actually, he worked for Longhorn Late Night before he was in news, so he knew her from that. And then I discovered that we have a friend in common. I didn't put the pieces together until quite recently. So we were like, you know what, I think this would be a pretty cool idea. She's a very interesting subject, and so we were like, hey, Sahana,
we got to
do you want to like get to know you?
I know, we got to know her really well for at least 10 days. I think we were working on this, but you know, going to all her classes and just telling us about her personal life and everything. We really got to know her as a person, so I feel like we're a little bit closer to her now after we've done this.
So that kind of leads me into my next question. What is she like behind the scenes, not from like the public eye?
She is such, she's so just mellow, just laid back, you know, I kind of joked to her, it's like, you're kind of famous now, you know, because you have your own Netflix show, and she doesn't really like make a big deal about it, you know. She's just, no, I'm just this regular student like everyone else.
She's
and,
really down to earth.
Very down to
earth. The most interesting thing happened, we went to one of her classes to film, and one of her friends was like, are these people here with cameras? And she was like, oh, I sort of have this like Netflix show, and they're doing a documentary about me. So she's very like, it's not a huge part of her life. Well, it is a huge part of her life, but she's very down to earth about it.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
And real quick, what did you take away from the experience you had?
Oh, a lot, I guess.
A lot.
I mean, one, I mean, this was kind of like the first mini doc we've ever done. So, you know, this was a big experience, you know, having experience with that. So, you know, I've learned a lot on that. But plus, I mean, we got to know Sahana better, you know. And then we kind of joked, me and Lizzie said, like, we know somebody famous.
Well, that's great. Marco, Lizzie, thank you so much for waking up early with us and joining us this morning. I really appreciate it. After the break, we'll have a chat with Spark Magazine staff about their upcoming release, so stay tuned.
Welcome back. Today we have Joanne Shu, the editor-in-chief of Spark Magazine, and creative director Carly Roberson. Welcome, you guys. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Well, thank you for coming. How are you doing?
Great. We're doing great this morning.
That's great. Awesome. Okay, so tell us a little bit about Spark Magazine. What is it?
Sure. So Spark is one of UT's only student-run independent publications and the only fashion publication on campus. We print biannually, and our staff is made up of completely UT undergraduate and graduate students.
And you guys have themes for each issue? What's this issue's theme?
Yeah, so I feel like we have more so a word and like a touch point inspiration.
That kind of goes into just being fully saturated and immersing yourself into what you're doing, whether that be taking your inspiration and kind of really zooming in at a micro scale or really zooming out at a macro scale.
Awesome. So where do you draw your inspiration from?
It's definitely a process.
Yeah, for sure. I always kind of draw it from either nature or just from the people I meet.
Yeah, I definitely think I work best when I'm bouncing off of just the energy of my staff. That's really one of my favorite parts of this is just watching all of my staff create together and bond together and just meld ideas together. That's, I think, where we get our inspiration and kind of
for sure.
where we start off in the semester trying to figure out the direction.
It sounds like you guys have a lot of fun. Like, what are some highlights from this semester?
Yeah, oh my gosh, highlights.
We just had Spark Tail recently, which was a lot of fun. It's kind of like, it's kind of a
staff mixer that celebrates the end of print season after everyone turns in their final assets. We're like, oh my god, we're done.
Yeah.
This semester we also got to work with Pizza Press, and we had our own branded Spark Pizza that lived amongst the other publication names. For the month April, which that was one of my favorite highlights, and I
You're so excited.
brag about it all the time. So I think it's so exciting. But in general, too, I think we saw some of our best talent yet. We were really impressed by the standard quality of content that we received, and we're so excited for everyone to see the release.
That's great. And this is issue 12, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when does it come out?
It comes out May 10th, so next Friday we hold a giant release party that's open to the public. So if anyone wants to come. You can find the information on our website or social media.
Oh, and where can we read it?
You can read it online at www.sparkmagazintx.com after it comes out, and you can also get there from any of our social medias.
Awesome. Okay, so you guys, you're the editor-in-chief, you're the creative director, but you're also students. How do you sort of balance that responsibility out?
Oh my gosh.
We're still trying to figure it out. Yeah. It's definitely a lot.
Yeah, definitely a lot. But it's just so rewarding, this position that we hold, like both of us. So I think it's nice, even though it's hard to find the balance. It's worth it.
It's definitely too. I mean, most people, when you ask them why they join Spark, it's because we accept people from all majors across the school, and they're just looking for a creative outlet. And I know that's how we too started as well. And we come back because you're just fed with so much creative energy, and it really fills that void. So that's kind of how. That's what powers us through when we're not getting sleep.
That's great. So, what are you taking from this experience from Spark? How are you hoping to sort of translate this into the future, in your future?
Sure.
I have kind of been able to use it to like speak to when I'm interviewing or things like that. But also just in my future, I've been able to make so many connections as of now that I feel like later in life I'll be able to connect back with people and be like, hey!
Yeah, our alumni network is definitely so strong in our community. It stays together past just graduation. For me, I want to do what I do in Spark, so as an editor. That's exactly what I want to do in real life, so this is really the real deal for me.
Well, and speaking of connections, how can we connect with you guys on social media?
Yeah, is that like our handles?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You can find us on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, all at Spark Magazine TX, and we We have an amazing social media team that's always coming back and engaging. So yeah, feel free to give us a
Great.
shout
Well,
out.
thank you guys so much for waking up early, for joining us and telling us about your magazine. I'm really excited to read it.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, for sure. Don't go anywhere. When we get back, GMTX gets to know the faces behind the Voices of Africa, one of UT's a cappella groups. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Joining us is Delapo Akintude, my apologies, Ukiro, Lauren John Miller, and Faith Avery from the Voices of Africa. Welcome, everybody. I'm so excited to have y'all on today.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Yes, of course. So tell me a little bit about the Voices of Africa. How did it get started here?
So the group started, we say, in the 90s.
Okay.
We're not really sure exactly, but it's mainly just a collective of students in African diaspora, like anybody from anywhere that connects with the culture. Sure. And we just like to project and promote music from all over where we come from and where our peers come from.
Sure. And so I'm sure you guys have had several performances throughout the years. What's one of your favorite ones that you guys can remember from, like, maybe this year or the year previous, anything like that?
I would say from last semester, Fest Africa. That's usually where we get our most support, and a lot of people see us and they're inspired to join the group, and so it's a great time, and like that's where we really feel that's where our people are at. So
Sure. Any other experiences you'd like to share?
I just joined the group this semester, so I'd say that my favorite experience thus far has been performing at Texas Review.
Yeah.
That was like a really big deal for us, especially because we had never done choreo before, so it was really cool to execute something very well, and it was something that was nice, so it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So what's something that's really meaningful about being able to participate in a group like this to you?
I think it's the fact that we all come from such different backgrounds, but yet it's overall we have the same culture, and we're getting to understand and understand one another through this culture. And the fact that we're speaking in languages that some of us are unfamiliar with, but it still brings us all together. And I just think that goes beyond just language itself, but just us coming together as a group.
Awesome. And so what was the thought process behind your performance at Texas Review last week? Can you kind of walk us through, like, kind of the steps on getting to review and, like, choreographing, arranging songs, that sort of thing?
Yeah, it was a long process, honestly. So it started with song selections and themes, because we wanted to tell a story, and we wanted the choreography to also tell that story. So it wasn't, it was honestly, it might look like everything was figured out and it was all mapped out, but it wasn't actually that way. But somehow, with all the creative energy that bubbles in the team, so many ideas came in and infused, and we came up with this idea about love and seasons of love. And even though it's you could say it's cliche, but we wanted to lend it a different vibe, and the music and the way we carried it and different emotions we expressed each time, from our movements, from our voices, from the voice parts, it all came together to tell a story that I think I've asked people, did you get what we're trying to say? And they're like, yeah, we got it. So it was pretty cool to get that feedback from people.
That's incredible. And so, do you have a, like, form of social media or anywhere that we can, like, find previous performances or learn more about you guys?
Yes, so if you want to follow us on Instagram at Texas VOA, we also have performances on our Twitter, which is also Texas VOA. We have a YouTube channel, The Voices of Africa, and we have Facebook, the Voices of Africa also, with a K. So you can find it, it's all there, archives.
Awesome. And so can you walk us through kind of like how you would join the Voices of Africa, like what your admissions process or anything like that is like?
So at the beginning of every semester, we send out quite a bit of social media pubs and whatnot, calling people to come in. We're looking for a beatboxer. Anybody out there is a beatboxer?
Yes.
We are calling you right now. But we just call for like a 2-3 minute song, and what we see in people is really like what we feel from what you sing. You don't have to be the best, the most technical, but like the fact that you can make people feel something, you're already part of us.
Sure. And so tell me a little bit about how the organization may have changed within the last year or so. Have y'all implemented any big changes that we can look out for in the future?
Definitely. So every year has brought different people, and every year people graduate. 2 years ago, when Voice of Africa won Texas Review and won the Crowd Favorite Award, there was no beatboxer on the team, for example, and it was all women. And so now we have a little bit more of a range of people. even more. We have more members as well. But it's also a thing where there was this thing during meetings. There was this word we would keep hearing: choir, 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 and some members felt stronger than others about how it needs to be a cappella music. We need to figure out what does African a cappella music sound like. And it took some research. It took some just asking, being curious about what the group could look like. And so some of our former members, actually one of our former members came up to me after our performance and when she watched us rehearse, and she said, I think I understand now what you're saying about how this is a cappella music versus like a choir and just vocals coming together. And so we have the a cappella component thing down, and it's going to evolve because I don't think there's a lot of people that do this, but also now we're doing more movements on stage, and so that's new. In terms of practice, way more regimented practice to make sure people are showing up on time and people are getting it done. Because once one voice part is missing, it's not a full sound, and so we wanted to nip that in the bud. We want punctuality, we want attendance, and we just want passion. And so we have to check ourselves and remind ourselves why we do what we do, which is to share our culture.
Sure. Well, thank you guys for coming out and teaching us a little bit more about your organization. Congratulations on Texas Review last week. That's an incredible accomplishment to have, so you guys should be really proud. Thank you guys for tuning in. Tune into our last show of the semester. We'll be featuring our seniors, and show our love to them before they leave us. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Good Morning TX for news updates throughout the week, and be sure to tune in later tonight to Tower Talks at 6. Have a great day and stay dry. We'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.